Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Before you get it, baby, show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. You walk right past me, pretending like you don't see what's yours for the taking tonight. Ooh, show me your soul, baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Can't you see it's way past time? How explicit do I have to be? I mean, I spell it out before you get it, baby. Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm giving a round of applause to all of you, because I know it wasn't easy getting up this morning, was it? It was for me, though. I don't know what it was, because I've been fighting a chest cold. So I've got my Vicks. They're so hot. They look. I had to tell you, I cannot finish one at one time. It is like a volcano of heat, but it works. But I just can't do it. And if you have a mask on, eating one of those jokers, but they work. Do you guys remember? I know you African American followers out there. Do you remember when we were little and we had colds? How our moms and grandmas would take Vicks and make you eat some of it. Do you remember that? When it clearly says on the thing, do not ingest. I'm just saying. There were three things that stand out that I wonder if other cultures deal with it like we do in the African American culture. That was one of them, eating Vicks. The other one was because I don't know. Yeah, I guess other people can get ashy. But remember this one? When they rub your face off. I guess. And then the last one, then I'm done. This one. Oh, come here, baby. Oh, no, do not put your spit on my anything. But we love our black mamas, our African American queens. Yes, we do. But those were some of the things. Those were my three childhood pet peeves. eating Vicks, getting my face rubbed off with some Vaseline intensive care or whatever it was, and eating well, I said that eating and then the spit on the thing. And you know, my grandmother, she bypassed Vicks. She made me eat mentholatum. Do you remember a thing called mentholatum? I don't even know if it's still on the shelves. But anyway, it sure got that stuff out of your chest, though. I wonder where I can find some. I'm gonna need to eat a spoonful today. There we go. And I got my Tropicana. Of course, coffee. All kinds of stuff. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobel Moments. We have a lot to talk about today. I have a surprise guest all the way from Phoenix, Arizona coming in because I wanted to have our family meeting, our conversation, share the show out right now because we want to know. We want to know if people have job opportunities. We want to hear from those of you who ain't looking for a job, ain't thinking about a job, and then all those that fall in between. People who are, because they say when you do what you love, which I can say I do, I really do. When you're doing what brings you joy, you never have to work another day in your life. But it seems like the new anthem for our country is help wanted. Every place you look, everything. It was with restaurants this time last year, primarily. Then you started seeing it at the grocery stores, interviews on the spot today, 2 to 4, every place you go. It is hard pressed to find a fast food place, if you're into that sort of thing, where you can actually go inside. Many have resorted to drive-through only, not to cut costs, or so they tell us. But the story on the street seems to be that people just can't find anyone who wants to work. We're going to talk about that today. So share it out. We need all of the different insights, as many as possible, to get in here today so we can start figuring this thing out. And I'm bringing in today the president of this network, Aaron Hymas, the co-founder and president of E360 Television. He's going to be coming in to talk about how some of the things that they have been thinking for years are now falling into play as far as providing opportunities for situations like the ones we find ourselves in today. That and more. But before we get into that, you see in your chat, I feel weird doing this, but I have to do it because I always bite off something that makes my heart pound a little bit faster. I put it out there. I try to be vulnerable about it. So, Heart of Hollywood. Where are you? Where's my magazine? Heart of Hollywood, which Giovanna Salas, the editor, was here just a couple weeks ago. And, this is the current magazine. And Bathrobel Moments is on the inside back cover. Starting next issue, we're on the back cover. So anyway, they have this competition where you can be a male cover model. I already went and had the pictures taken, so I was like, well, why not? So I entered 3 months after it started. I'm going to share this with you. 3 months after it started, I decided to go ahead and get in. Giovanna kind of convinced me. And I just want to show you what it is. So there's a link right now. And when you go in, you head over Man Cover Model Contest. There's a woman one too. So that's women and man. Why wouldn't it be women and men or woman and man? Ooh, that might get me some extra votes if I pull that to her attention. So you see, I entered last week. I had 0 votes. Somebody gave me 10 votes. I think it was Dan Devey, and it moved me all the way up to 12th. So anyway, look at it. And look at Fabio up there, number 4. Some of everything in here, but I'm in here. I'm 59. I'm trying to be the black male Betty White one day. That's how it is. So go over. You can vote for me. Okay, yeah, there's a catch. It's like $1 a vote. So anyway, if you feel like it, go ahead. And that's all I got to say about that. So I put that in there. Okay. Hey, I'm just saying. Wait till you get to be 59. You're going to be looking for things to make you want to get out of bed too. There it is. So anyway, and now on a somber, Aaron Hymas has said something. Oh, good morning to you too, Aaron. Sending messages on the private chat. Yeah, El Presidente. Now, speaking of presidents, I'm a veteran, and let me put this up there. Let me put this up there right now. Serious moment, just for a second, because we cannot move forward today on this show anyway without taking a moment to acknowledge the 13 fallen soldiers from the Kabul airport attack last week. It never gets easy. 13 families got that knock on the door where the news was delivered. And, that's the thing about that brotherhood known as the military. And Aaron is an Air Force veteran as well. Aaron Hymas, who's here today. And I'm sure he would agree. It never gets easy. You don't have to actually know the people, but you feel like you do, like you did. And, these are hard times for everybody for a plethora of reasons. And so I wanted to, President Biden said a few words the other day about what's going on, about these heroes. And so I just wanted to share a little of that just to acknowledge it in our own little way right here. So let's take a look. And then we're going to get into our conversation about why don't nobody want to work, okay?
America's been forged in the battles and the fires of war. Our freedom and the freedom of innumerable others has been secured by young men and women who answered the call of history, gave everything in the service of an idea. The idea of America. It's the greatest idea in the long history of humankind. An idea that we're all created equal in the image of Almighty God. That we're all entitled to dignity, as my father would say, and respect, decency and honor, love of neighbor. They're not empty words, but the vital beating heart of our nation. And that democracy must be defended at all costs, for democracy makes all this possible. Democracy. That's the soul of America. And I believe it's a soul worth fighting for. And so do you. A soul worth dying for. Heroes who lie in eternal peace in this beautiful place, this sacred place. They believe that too.
So, I would just encourage everyone to start today and every day with a sense of gratitude and start by thanking those that, a few of those kids were 20 years old, 22 years old, 24 years old, even if they were 75 years old. It doesn't change the fact that they were willing to sacrifice their lives for our freedoms and for our safety. And for that, they deserve so much. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. And I wanted to say thank you to Amani Marley husbands of Atlanta, Bob Marley's firstborn daughter. And she sent Brian and I these beautiful pride towels. This is just one of the two. Last week I posted it on my page. So I just wanted to thank her. Just one of those things randomly came and made my day. And also Gabriel Klingman sent me some lights for my new studio. Next season I'm moving into the man cave from up here. Brian is closing his practice because telehealth has been voted into law here in the state of Illinois for the next 6 years. So no need to have a big overhead. So, and all of his patients said, okay, we love it. So now he'll be on the top floor. This floor will be empty and we'll be down there because he says we need a floor between us when I'm doing coaching calls. I have no idea what he's talking about. Gabriel put this inside the lights and everything that I got from him. The little book of more calm coloring. So I think he's trying to tell me something, but I'm going to do it because my husband's a therapist and he says these work. So anyway, thank you to Gabriel Klingman and thank you to Amani Marley husbands and thank you to you. So I want to get Aaron in here right now. And has he been here before? I don't remember. Sherry McQueen, check the records. Has this guy been here before? If he hasn't, oh, here he comes. El Presidente.
Good morning, sir.
You got wardrobe and makeup people at your house?
Yeah.
You look like you're ready to just hit some kind of movie set.
I'm so pumped this morning. I'm so pumped this morning, Lauren. How are you this morning?
I'm awesome.
Good.
that sun is coming in here, but hey, I'm not complaining. So you're in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. How hot's it been there lately?
Well, it's going to be 108, but it's going to cool down. So, I mean, I wish I had the weather map next to me. I will show you that we have Hurricane Nora coming up from the Gulf of California, and that's going to be blanketing us with a bunch of rain.
And I used to live in Phoenix, and it does not take my car floated away once.
Oh, yeah.
During monsoon season.
Yeah.
Literally floated away. Yeah.
It happens. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're
Good morning.
So we're here today. I'm glad you popped in because it's a great tie-in to talk to people about what's going on. I pulled up some statistics, and let's say you're in Arizona. In July in Arizona, the unemployment rate was 6.6, where let's see, the highest it's ever been is 10.1, and that was in 19. No. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the wrong state. It is 6.6 for you. April 20th was your highest of 2020 at 14.2. So that was just a year ago. Now, this is what gets me. The rate is down, but nobody has employees. How does that work? And in Illinois, and I'll just use R2, if anybody wants to know what it is in your state, I have all the states pulled up. Drop it in the comments, and I'll get you the deeds. 7.1 currently here in Illinois, whereas a year ago in April, 16.5% unemployment. So there it is. And I got some little clips we're going to cut back and forth to. What's going on? What do you think? Every place, how is it there? Every place I go here.
Well, no, we have the same issues that you see everywhere else, that there's in certain unskilled markets. It seems to be a gap for sure. There's and I think I don't want to oversimplify. I think it's a complex issue. I think there's multiple things going on there because you have different layers of people involved that are impacted differently. And then on top of that, you also have a strong gig economy that's happening. So you have a lot of
gig economy.
Job project to project to project to project.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. Like an independent contractor kind of deal.
Kind of like, yeah, exactly. So I think there's a combination of multiple things going on. I think it's like let's say for women, it's not like childcare costs went lower. Childcare costs are still high.
Right.
So the underskilled jobs, it's basically a break even at that point, with all your costs going back to work. So I think the oversimplification of people are just lazy, and that is just because of extra money. I don't think that's the answer. I think it's a combination of things.
I think it's a bunch of different mindsets and agendas and fears and all kinds of things. So I have a bunch of different little clips that we're going to cut back and forth to, and they all speak to a different mindset. They come from different sides of the aisle completely. So we're going to watch one just a little bit, and then we're going to talk about that and then go to another.
Everybody, as I'm working on this, the summer break for 2021 has
and this is a school teacher.
Started. Now, I'm a teacher, not a student, but trust me, we look forward to it at least as much as anybody else. Anyway, the reason I bring that up is that I first saw one of those signs, and if you've looked at the title of the video, you know which ones I mean. In person, before photos of them started showing up on my social media feeds. This would have been a little more than a month ago, right before state testing started. Yeah, mandatory state testing.
So she's talking around April, pandemic. May.
I don't remember what day it was, but I stopped to get some fast food as a treat. And there was this sign on the window. It did not remind you to have your mask on, though I did. Instead, it said something like, "We are short-staffed right now. Sorry for any inconvenience. Please do not take it out on the people who actually showed up to work."
Now, that's the part I wanted from there, because I have been guilty myself, even though I didn't verbalize it. But I've also seen that manager who's having her ass worked off in whatever setting it is, but taking it out on some of her kid workers, because that's really the main job force in those fast food places now. We have juniors and seniors in high school that are managing fast food places part-time in our city of Naperville right here. So what do you think about that? About being nice to the people and understanding that there's a shortage?
Well, I would say that that's a given. Yeah, let's be thankful for the people that are showing up to these jobs of underappreciated,
Overworked,
underpaid positions that they are doing their thing, and so we can get whatever it is, their service or item that we want. I think that absolutely that's an echo. I would say I'm Bell on that. What she said,
Yeah,
don't take it out on them.
Don't take it out on them. Now, here's another thing. When I always ask people when I see the sign, so what are you all paying? Just because I want to try to get another piece of the puzzle for my own nosiness. You're right. And so in the average here in Illinois seems to be right around $15 for your fast food, working at the cleaners, at the gas station, that sort of thing. Now, when did $15 an hour become a pittance? Because I used to think $15 an hour was pretty darn good money.
Yeah. God, my frame of reference is so lousy because I've been an entrepreneur for 11 years. But yeah, so $15 an hour. I don't know what that comes out to be. Now I know that
$600 a week before tax.
Okay. So that's pretty good. I mean, isn't it?
I thought it was, but
yeah.
But then again, look at that. And Sherry McQueen wanted to know what the unemployment numbers were for Michigan. Sherry, 4.8 as of last month. A year ago, April 2021, it was at 16.4. So there again is that data that says unemployment is down. But why? How can that be when every place we look, they're looking for employees?
Well, okay. So I guess it goes back to is that it'd be a breakdown in those numbers of where is the unemployment higher in what skill of job? Because what we're seeing, I think, as our observational point of view here is we're seeing more of service type positions.
Yeah.
So,
but
I would
there, Sherry McQueen says there are hundreds of signs here in Grand Rapids, which is in Michigan, for factories and businesses which are hiring. And I mean, I see it everywhere. Places I would have never expected, jewelry stores, retail, of course, the food service industry, the bars. But now you're seeing it, grocery stores doing them right in the lobby, things like that. And grocery stores used to be those places that people worked for years and years, up at the grocery store of my corner. A lot of those people, they put it up on the windows. They've been there 20, 30, 40 years. And now they can't keep people. And so I just don't know what's going on. But here's another take. Let's take a look at another. I hope this is the funny one, because we could use a laugh, right? Always. Let's take a look at this one. Another reason, another thing out there. Yeah, this is the funny one about this.
Problem with people today is nobody wants to work. All they want to do is sit at home and make phone call after phone call after phone call to the unemployment office for a check that may not even come. Nobody wants to work anymore. When we said people in the service industry are heroes, we meant that panderingly. It's time to get back to work after being overworked for the past year in dangerous conditions for very little pay. I want my mozzarella sticks. Nobody wants to work anymore. You people need to stop finding better paying jobs and come back to where I eat. So you can ask me.
Come back to where I eat.
I can respond with Dr. Pepper, extra ice, all while not looking up from the menu. Nobody wants to work anymore. So what if your kids aren't back in in-person school or almost out on summer break? Kids can watch themselves. Because I need you to clean up after mine, because they're messy eaters. Nobody wants to work anymore. No, I'm not vaccinated. I won't wear a mask, and I got a bad attitude. But at least I don't tip well. Nobody wants to work anymore. Oh, what do I do for work? I took an early retirement.
Okay, so there you go. Okay, now that's from, of course, a a more humorous viewpoint. But why is it, again, you guys, who knows somebody who used to work and now they're not? Where are they getting money from? I didn't know there were still stimulus checks, but what is it? Just unemployment? They're getting unemployment?
I think, we were already on a path that, so the baby boomer age is going into retirement, and a lot of them took early retirement. And that's been an issue for certain industries that's coming up. I think with the early retirement, and then, gosh, I wish I had a better answer for you, because I think this is, I think it's very complex. It is. I think it's definitely not that people just don't want to work anymore, but maybe they don't want to do certain types of jobs. Maybe they just want to do their own thing.
Maybe. Now, here's what Sherry has to say, again, chiming in. She says, what these people are making in unemployment plus the $600 more is a lot of money. It's comparable to what I'm making, or comparable, tomato, caramel, to what I'm making per week. So when a person sits across and they're going to work and they're getting up and they're driving there or doing whatever they have to do, dealing with all the extra things they have to deal with, attitudes, personalities, blah, blah, blah. And then there's someone who can sit at home, check in every 2 weeks or whatever it is, hit the button, and the check gets deposited in their account. What is missing, though, from the people that are just collecting? Aren't some of the things that we get up and have routines for falling down the rabbit hole, as far as living your best life, feeling like you're contributing, making a difference, all of that sort of thing? What do you say about that?
Again, I think the stimulus, I don't know. I don't think the 600, I don't think that extra money is going around anymore. I think it's, I don't know. I think it varies by state, but because I know a lot of them voted to cut it off. But I think that if there's in that case where there was that much money influxing into those people, certain, people that were affected by the pandemic, well, then, I mean, there's kind of a reason to do your own thing for a while. But I would suspect that, I'm going to say this as personally, is that, like when I got out of the service, okay, so this is a couple minutes ago, 20 years ago, I did, you get unemployment as soon as you get out. You'll get full unemployment. Well, that lasted about 25 days for me, because I was bored as hell, just like I got to do something, I got to do something here. This is ridiculous. But I guess if you weren't able to go into a workplace, then you might just get a really cool hobby that you try to make into a work. Maybe it's a DJ.
Well, I've got an idea. I'm going to wait till we see a little bit more video proof. But let's listen carefully, because so far, the question has been the same on every one of these videos, including today's show. Why doesn't anyone want to work anymore? However, we've yet to hear an answer. From all these different, the funny side, the teacher side, no one's given us an answer. Let's see if we can find one inside of this little ditty. Let's see here. Here's one more. And there we go. Oh, actual news.
Have reopened. And the problem now that they're finding is that they can't find people to work. First News reporter Jacob Thompson today went looking for answers on why it's tough to find help.
The bar and restaurant industry has struggled with issues beyond their control this past year. From takeout only to capacity seating and curfew hours. Now they have another battle to fight.
People don't want to work. We have set up interviews. People don't show. We call people with applications to put applications in. They won't answer their phones.
It's an issue that many restaurants are struggling with. It started back in the fall. Going from applications to interviews is a problem.
And the third thing is, once you offer jobs, are people coming in to actually work? So 3 steps. And they're struggling in all 3 areas.
Jeff Chan of Salas and Struthers says other restaurant owners have shared with him the same issues. He says sales isn't a normal seasonal job, but something more long-term.
Because when we hire somebody, we want them here for years to kind of grow into it, and we kind of grow into them. So it's a very detailed process.
And we're just a few months away from one of the busiest seasons of the industry.
It picks up a little bit more in the summertime. People are out more and all that. We're starting to see an increase a little bit now. People are coming out.
Many customers prefer to sit outside on patios, so they are adding more tables.
So right now we have an extra 9 or 10 tables open outside, right? So the capacity for the restaurant's bigger or higher, so we need more staff.
So what's causing this?
They're getting the stimulus checks. They're getting unemployment. Our country's getting lazy a little bit.
Oh.
Getting lazy. Nobody wants to work.
Oh.
People don't want to work. And that's really a tough situation, because this is how you buy houses. This is how you pay bills. This is how you build a retirement. This is how the economy, the engine works, is people working.
Both Salas and V2 have job openings for kitchen staff to bartenders and more. Jacob Thompson, WKBN 27 First News.
So I'm wondering, is it a matter of minimum wage being raised across the board as an incentive to get people back into the service industry? Primarily, it seems to be. But I have a feeling if we don't do something there, it's going to trickle into a lot of other avenues. How do you feel about that one? Because we heard the L word there for the first time today. Are we becoming lazy?
Well, I think, so there has been a shift in labor market because of people. So the old school thinking is like, right. So you're part of, you Detroit area, or, you're from originally and stuff like that. So the old school thinking, and this is Midwest also, is that you go, you get a job and you stay there. And that's your spot.
Right.
You stay there and they reward you back. Pensions, all these types of things. Well, over the years, of course, pensions, besides tight union markets, those went away. And so people kind of got disenfranchised. They're not employees for life. In fact, it shows that if you want to get a higher pay, you have to switch positions to get higher pay. You have to go for other companies.
Yeah.
So there's already that. That's done. Then on top of that, you have where people were getting extra money. And I don't know if it's laziness. I think it may be a little bit of a disenfranchisement. So people are just not wanting to put up with some. I don't blame them. Do you want?
I think it's a part of the new normal. Yeah, I think when we started hearing new normal this time last year, well, a little bit earlier than this time last year in the spring, we thought we knew what it meant about I thought anyway that it was. They were talking about masking and hand sanitizing and all of that. But the new normal is people shutting down places that they don't need that heavy overhead.
Right.
They had those offices because people were in there supporting. Right. And now they don't need to do it that way. They need less people. They'd rather pay 3 people bigger money than 6 people this kind of money. There's a lot of different factors. But I believe, personally, if we're not careful, unemployment could very well transform or morph, if you will, into the new welfare.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, come on now. I came from the hood. I saw people who had all kinds of little, sitting up there selling their food stamps and stuff, and go right across the street to the liquor store and buy $300 worth of lottery tickets in cash. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just saying, this is the kind of stuff. There's abuse all over the place.
There's always going to be a layer of abuse.
Always.
There's always going to be a layer of abuse. I err on the side of safety nets, but I know that comes with a cost, is that there's always people that abuse the system. I think people inherently want to work and want to feel valued, and they want to be a part of a team, and they want to, but I guess I'm not sure of exactly the answers.
I know. That's my point. Pat Scott.
That's a good point.
Right. Because I know a few people who are now self-employed due to the pandemic, and that's exactly where we're going to transition into. We're going to segue right there at that juncture. Today, as we get into how this affects people like us. So before we do, though, what was the other thing? Oh, Sherry said this. She goes, with unemployment, you have to show that you are applying for jobs. However, there's ways around that. I know people, I sit there and watch them do it. They just write in these places. You know, they're so busy. They don't, hey, did so-and-so really come there yesterday for an, you know? So there's ways around that. People are overworked, underpaid. They're just done. So that's there. Hi, Facebook user. I don't know who you are. Tell us who you are. You're on a different platform. So hello to all of you. And hello to all of you. There's so many of you. I don't want to lose the time by naming you all. So I'm going to do a blanket hello. Hello. There you go. So here we go. People, let's use you as a great example. Now you have what, 1, 2 master's degrees? Two. And are either one of them connected to what you do with your passion and to make your primary income today? A little bit. But I mean, because, okay, what are they in?
Well, one's project management, so that's the one that's the one that I use on a regular basis. The other one is in energy management, which is like the energy sector, you know, like renewable energy and stuff like that. So yeah, I didn't touch that. It's just, but that you know, I keep that one on the back burner because, you know, someday
like a backup plan.
Yeah. I mean, always.
Okay, and so many people have degrees and then have gone into other things. But what about the entrepreneur, the solopreneur, or those people that come together? There's been a lot of bonding of different brands to come out with symposiums and virtual workshops, events. You know, we've seen a lot. We've done a lot here on E360. Let's talk about that. Why have we seen the surge in events in the last 6 months? Why do you think that is? Even as the world was seemingly opening up.
Well, I think that, you know, so events have been on the standby, like the in-person events have been on the standby to get going. Some went virtual, some just canceled. Or they said, you know, better luck next year.
Right.
No, but we'll catch up next year. So I think that's kind of a catch-up game that you're seeing when it comes to events and stuff. But at the same time, you know, we do a lot of virtual. We'll do or a combination of the two.
Right.
And I think that the combination is what you're going to see continuing going forward, because small live groups
out to
and then cast it out. Yeah, because people are either physically can't do it, or there's still some hesitancy because you're getting even well, we were in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't there points that you were like looking around and going, okay, this is a lot of people, you know, stuck in this room right now. And you still have, I don't care what you care about, the pandemic or the COVID-19 or something like that. A lot of people died. And you have those risk factors. So you still want to bring it back just a tiny bit.
Well, that's a great point. And I want to touch on that real quick, because we have that situation in our home right now with our end of the year celebration that we have. And, you know, we have some friends that fly in from other states for it, party tents out there and everything. And this year we took a page from the Gaze in Space playbook because at the event, the Penthouse events that you were talking about, where it was kind of like, whoa, look at all the people. But they had someone checking temperatures at the door, and everyone they invited said that they had been fully vaccinated. And that's what we're doing. And you know, we had already opened our big mouths to close family and friends, and then when we said, oh, you know what, that's what we need to do. Now we're stuck with, how do we gently but effectively express? Well, because I feel like, well, if I didn't mean it, why did I get the vaccine? You know what I mean? If I didn't mean to protect myself and those that, I mean,
well, I think, you know what?
If you're not vaccinated, you can't come.
You know what, though? So firsthand experience, met up with someone down in Tucson at an event, went out to go shake his hand. I'm vaccinated. He was vaccinated. Went to go shake his hand, and he's like, I don't shake hands right now.
See what I'm saying?
But that was totally respect it. You can totally respect that right now. You can be like, yeah, no, I get it.
Right.
I get it. 600,000 people dead. Get it. It's not hard to get. So I think that if you put that out there and you're having an event and you put those protocols in place, if someone doesn't, I mean, one, you're going on the honor system when it comes to if they're getting a vaccine shot or not, if they're protected. But if you're checking temperatures and stuff like that, I think that just shows respect for your other guests.
Yeah.
That comes down.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And
yeah.
I mean, and they're on the same aisle as we are. So of course it's going to be, I mean, if it was like, well, we ain't taking a vaccine, we don't care, then anybody could come. But we're on that other side. So there it is. Here's a question for you. I heard something on NPR radio just this morning where they had someone that used to work for Obama. I forget what she does, but she's teaching at some big Ivy League school, right? Harvard. Anyway, she was speaking to the vote that's coming up in the airline industry in time for the holidays, where there could be some airlines who are saying that if you are not vaccinated, you can't fly on our airline.
I don't know about that.
They're trying to get that passed. Yeah.
I don't know about that because,
they want to protect their
there's certain industries that are almost quasi-government, like post office. And when you're, I mean, I don't know, an airline, I feel like that's an essential, and they got a lot of cash from the government. So I don't know about that. I don't.
That's probably
I don't like mandatory things. I'm not as big into that.
Don't you think that would be the government telling them to do it, to push people? Because that's what the woman was saying. She was like, that if I want to go see my family and I'm not vaccinated, that may be the thing to push even a little bit more over. But is that a strong arm technique? Is that an intimidation? Is that bullying? I mean, we do have our rights about what we do with our bodies.
Then again, they are a private industry.
See what I mean? So anyway, before we get too far off, back to our task at hand today, why nobody wants to work. One more little piece, and then we're going to come back to how, if you or someone you know is looking for a way to take your message, to take your purpose, your passion to an all new level, an all new height, we just might have some ideas that could work for you. We're going to talk about that and more, but here's the last clip of the morning. Let me get it up. And this one is reputable, again, not a joke piece, but let's take a look.
Just over a year ago, in March of 2020, unemployment in the US spiked to 15% as the fallout of the coronavirus forced many businesses to close and many more to take drastic cost-cutting measures to survive the turbulent times that lay ahead. Today, thanks in part to government stimulus and a new acceptance of the status quo in the workplace, this figure has fallen to 6%, which is still far higher than the 3.5% it was hovering around before the economy shut down, but it is obviously a massive improvement. In fact, today, the USA is facing a completely different, somewhat paradoxical problem. People are no longer struggling to find places to work, workplaces are struggling to find people. Reports of massive labour shortages have compelled some of the nation's largest employers to offer potential recruits $50 just to show up for a job interview. Here in Australia, Uber is offering people a $500 bonus just to sign up as a driver and do 20 deliveries. What's more is that those same companies are having to offer higher salaries and career progression opportunities beyond the minimum wage they have typically paid to entry-level employees. So, this sounds like a good thing. Unemployment falling, wages rising, conditions improving. What's not to like? Unless maybe you're a fast food franchise owner. However, these seemingly positive headlines have actually got a few economists pretty worried. To understand why, we need to as always look at a few things in detail and properly understand what this could all mean to the recovery of the American economy as a whole. So, why are economists concerned about people having their choice of jobs with better pay and conditions? What could this situation do to the wider economy? And what is the best way to take advantage of this apparent surge in demand for new employees?
So what that means to me is this is the greatest time in a long time to be writing your own ticket. I've got a golden ticket Charlie. You know what I'm saying? And I really do. I believe we all have a golden ticket. Now more than ever, I believe that content is king or queen. I'm just saying.
Well, that's part of our business, right? I mean, that's
talk about that.
Part of our business. Content is, it's the lifeblood of marketing. It's ongoing, and there's and since there is so many conversations and things going on, I think it's vital.
Very much
vital.
So when you and Aggie, the other co-founder of E360 Television, all those years ago when you guys were thinking about doing this, and you tell everybody what your mission statement is about content, how you put it out there first. So, because there are probably some people that are sitting there going, well, I'm not a television host. I'm not a this. I could never that. I don't know the first thing about. But when I started Bathrobel Moments 6 years ago, I didn't either. I didn't even have a stand to sit the phone in. Everybody was counting the hairs up my nose because I kept the phone too close. All those kind of things. But here we are, nonetheless. Talk about that. Who is the new content king or queen? Where do they live? Where are they? Those who don't know, it's them.
Well, that's a tricky question because everyone thinks they are. Sometimes in certain worlds, everyone thinks they are, right? It's not always the case. So there's I look at it two different ways. One, if there's an ongoing purpose that people have that they really want, like it has to be a driven purpose. I mean, it's deep down. They are going to speak about it. They want to expose it. They want to explore it. And it's, I don't want to say niche, but it's definitely, let's say it's about kids or education, or in this case, like the people around us and stuff like that, just subject matters. Anyways, those people, it's open now. It's like with what we do and worldwide distribution, we can all connect now. And we can connect not just through Facebook. We can connect through bigger devices now, which is,
of course,
I think that's a big thing. Other people for content, though, it might be just a specific one-time type of thing that's where we get to the events. They have a specific purpose. They're not regular show hosts. They don't want to do something on the regular. They don't have time to do something on the regular. It's just not going to fit into their ecosphere of what they got going on. So if those people, that's more of the once a year events and stuff like that.
Right. One and done.
One and done, or an annual thing.
Right. Yeah. It's not like you got to get and do the same thing again tomorrow.
No, and those are fun. Those are fun because those are, they're very specific. And there's a lot of pre-planning into those, a long runway.
And there you go. And that's a point right there that I want people to understand. If you're thinking about, I don't care what you do. If, you could be an artsy person who makes crafts, and now you can't go to the flea markets or you can't go to the craft festivals and shows. You can have an event where it is streamed over and people bid on things. Interactive. They can do things and you can move product. I think it's headed that way for a lot of people for safety reasons primarily, but also it's a lot cheaper and you can get to a lot more people.
Yeah, so you can 10 or 50x your audience. But I almost want to say that it's almost a responsibility for people, if you're going to put an event together, that you bring in that virtual aspect. And I don't care if it's with E360, that's cool. We can help out in so many ways, even with the production.
Let me get this.
But even if it's
hold
just
on. Wait, before you get too far away from that shameless plug. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to stay away from the plug-in.
I'm kidding.
I'm just saying, though, if it's, let's say you have an art festival, okay, that is the first year and you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you're going to be putting something out there that's going to be cool, you should have a virtual aspect to it, because you got to have people in all the way from San Francisco, California to Montreal to Paris, France, that would love to see that stuff, but cost or prohibitive reasons can't be there physically. So I think it's you got to bring it in there.
You must. And as someone who's done events for decades, because I was an event planner for 26 years before coming into what I do today. So I've been on both sides, and now I have events. And so I will say this, it is so much, it gives you so much more breathing room to do it, split. Power of We is coming up April 28th. I can hit this again here in Chicago at the Stan Mansion. Yes. And that is going to be a big part of why we have really started to change the model of it to fit where we are today. You see, to make it accessible to those who are not comfortable traveling, to make it viable without being restrictive, because we don't know what 5 months from now will look like. We never did, but more so now because we know we're dealing with something that is like, the man behind the cape kind of deal. So I like the fact that I can still keep my ember for my nonprofit alive, and not let it get cold in the world, mind and heart, but keep everybody safe and still do some good. So where does a person go to find out, how do I do this? How do they reach out is what I'm asking.
Well, for E360, go to the website and /join us, so that join-us, and then you can find out a bunch of stuff.
Say it slowly so Sherry will get it. She'll drop it in for us. What is it?
Okay, so let me make sure I'm getting it right here.
Okay. I have so many drinks here, I don't know which one to choose from. Oh, while you're doing that, because I got to get that in. I'm not going to a pre-recorded commercial, but I got to get this one in, and I'm doing it a day early because I drank the last one of the ones for this month, which was the big can. So now they sent these for I don't know how long. So here it is. For the last couple months, you guys have been seeing that I one of the new sponsors, V8. I drink one a day. I really do, and I have fallen head over heels in love with it. I used to drink it when I was a younger lad, but kind of got away from it when I needed it the most. But now it's great. These are the smaller versions of what you saw last week. These are 30 calories per can. I drink 2 to 3 of these a day. It is 1 serving of vegetables in each can, made from still 100% concentrate of pure vegetable juice. Easy to find. Head down the juice aisle at your local grocer and you'll see them. And if spice isn't what you're looking for in your life, you can get that too. So reach out today, pop the top, and don't say like so many, oops, I could have had a V8. Ditch the soda, ditch the sugar, and do yourself a favor. V8. Okay, got to drink it to make it official.
I love V8s. V8s are so good.
Delicious. Yeah. Tastes just like candy. So, okay, did you find what we're looking for people who are looking for?
Okay, so it's e360tv.com /join-us.
Join-us.
Yes.
So there it is.
There you go. So you plug that in. That's something you can get into the main categories. Now, for anyone that's just out there that, they don't have a budget, they first year of it, they want to start and stuff like that, start doing some Google searching and looking around and stuff about how to bring your event virtual. It's a little bit complicated. You go down some rabbit holes and stuff like that. But, if you can get a couple of 13, 14-year-old interns and stuff to help you out, they can definitely help out too. But, so our stuff is more turnkey. But then there are some of those people that just want to fragment, kind of put things together, and they can do that. It's not too tough. It's not terribly tough, but it's something that, like I said, I think it's a good thing. It doesn't matter what the level, just bring it to everyone, and so they can enjoy what you worked hard putting together. And if you get 100, 200, 300 extra people that watch,
you go.
Touch that much more people, and it'll continue to grow from there.
And you know, a lot of us, what we do next is based on what people tell us about what we've most recently done. Let's just keep it real. Don't let the current state of the economy, the mindset of the vaccine, no vaccine, help you lose your dream or let that ember completely burn out. Do whatever you can. Everything you've ever lived, everything you are today, and everything you could ever hope to become has always been about this moment. Don't forget that. And so all we're trying to do is say, hey, keep seeking, keep looking at the question marks, and know that that means that something greater than is within the opportunity. E360 has always been here long before COVID, offering these same opportunities for these same reasons. It just happens to be something that we're in dire need of today. So that's divine timing, if you ask me. And I know because I'm living inside this bubble known as purpose. So if you have any questions at all, if you or someone you know needs what we've been talking about today, use the link and check it out. That's all we're saying. We don't care where you find it, just find it. We need everything we can today that's going to make life better, stronger, and brighter for tomorrow. Can we get an amen?
Amen.
All righty. So listen, you guys. Aaron, I want to thank you for coming in today. We got to get you back to talk about your upcoming show that we've been hearing about for, I don't know, 13, 14 years now. Sugar Shack. I'm just doing that because it's like the hairdresser who never does their own hair.
Yeah,
That's him. The guy who's in TV that won't pull the trigger on his own TV show. But anyway, Aaron, really, I just want to say thank you too on behalf of myself, my coaching clients that are now members of the E360 family, and my friends that are part of the E360 family, that we're really grateful. I know I am for this opportunity.
It's so much fun though, isn't it? I mean, it's not
more than fun.
This is not work.
No.
And that's why probably
excuse me.
We're coming back to the work thing. See, it's full circle.
Well, and that's the thing. This isn't work. Not for me. And I just want to say, I don't know what my life would look like today if I had not already had the comfort and the protection of a place like the E360 family when COVID hit. Because I was doing, 200-300 paid speaking gigs in person every year. And that was 80% of my income anyway. And that all went, but I didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
Because you guys were there. We were I could create as I needed
to. I mean,
I wasn't in a straitjacket with a bunch of rules and we own this, you own that. It was none of that. And not everybody I knew in television was in that situation. A lot of them didn't know it until the metal the pedal hit the metal. You know what I'm saying? The rubber hit the road. And then they were like, I got to get out of this contract. I got to get away from here. So I was grateful.
Yeah. That kind of I think, I guess we're coming up on time, but that was kind of a thank goodness, on both sides. I mean, just on our side and it just, it wasn't planned, but man, that just came at perfect timing and
divine timing.
Good. Yep. Great. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you again.
Great conversation. I mean, I'm glad we didn't really come to conclusions on the subject about the work.
I know. I don't think we know.
I think it's complicated, and there's probably people that are super smart out there that already got it figured out.
They got it figured out. But for those of us who are still in limbo, just know there are opportunities, and no one can do anything with an opportunity if they're not aware of it. So that's why we've had this conversation today and invited you to take a look inside of what's possible with your message through the E360 platforms. Get at me or use the link that's been provided to check out if there is a viable opportunity for you. Join me tomorrow when my guest is going to be Mr. Tim Chrisman, one of the co-founders of Foundation for the Future. They're going to be here, and wait till you hear what they're doing to bring the opportunity of space to everyone. Right now, Inspiration 4 is on the cover of Time magazine. We're going to talk about those people. We know one of those astronauts that's going up in just a little bit of time, just a couple weeks actually. And we're going to talk about how you could win a trip into space. All that and more tomorrow. So 8 a.m. is the time. Meet me on the front porch, and we'll do it all over again as we come together to fulfill the promise of where two or more of us comes, something wonderful will happen, just like it did today. Get out and be the blessing you want to see in the world. I'm Lauren, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks, Aaron. Bye, everybody.
Thanks,
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time.